There is never an easy path to success, and it requires self-improvement and the ability to learn from others. Today, my interaction with Mr. Kurly is going to be about taking risks, learning from each other, and growing together. Join me in a conversation with Mr. Subhakar Kurly, who is the chairman for WISSEN. Established in the year 2000 in the US, WISSEN has global offices in US, India, UK, Australia, Mexico, and Canada, with best-in-class infrastructure and development facilities spread across the globe. They are an end-to-end solution provider in banking, financial services, telecom, healthcare, manufacturing, and energy verticals, and have successfully delivered $1 billion worth of projects for more than 20 Fortune 500 companies. WISSEN assists clients in building organizational resilience to face the future and steer their journey to digital fluency. Building enterprise systems, implementing a digital strategy, and gaining competitive edge with business transformation are a few of their strong capabilities today. WISSEN utilizes its multi-locational facilities and industry-standard processes such as ITIL to provide the best-in-class, cost-effective solutions that promises maximum returns on minimum IT spending.
Marksman Daily presents C-Suite Conversations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kurly, for making time and giving us an opportunity to understand you better.
Thank you, Sakshi, for giving me this opportunity to be part of your, leadership series, that you guys are working on.
WISSEN has grown over the years. What are the leadership styles that you abide by and has helped grow the company?
So one thing that actually that differentiates from other corporates across our industry is, even though WISSEN is like a 24-year-old company, when somebody walks in, they feel it's a big startup environment, right? So as leaders, we try to keep the organization as flat as possible. We make sure the top leadership is approachable. Even for a fresher who joins us, they're welcome to walk into my room. We keep the doors open. We encourage that kind of open environment, and I think a lot of the young generation really like it. Because when they go into other corporates, they see if they need to meet a leader, they have to go through multiple layers of permissions and hierarchy and all that. So here in WISSEN, they can just walk into my room.
So tell us about your journey, how you've come up and how you joined this company and the leadership team.
So it's a very interesting story. So I went to a boarding school in Ooty. So when I went there, somehow I think maybe around 10th grade or so. So I had a little bug that actually bit me, which basically got that idea into my mind that I must start something on my own.
Okay.
So I didn't know what it was, even if it was a simple thing like a mechanic shop. I just wanted that, that should be my own, not working for somebody. So that was there, and then as I graduated through college, joined an MNC as my first job. Worked there for a couple of years, and then I got a chance. I think it was just a right time, right place kind of a thing to start WISSEN, and that was way back in year 2000. Very young in my career, just 2 years experience, but went straight into entrepreneurship, and I really thank God. Things have worked out well. So the journey has been really, really interesting in 24 years.
So listening to you, I just realized that, people wait for the right time, but there is no such thing.
Yes,
you just
absolutely.
have to take the plunge and jump in, and you automatically will learn to swim.
Yeah, and I think one most important thing, what I've noticed is if you have the passion to succeed, I think you can do miracles. And you should never look for immediate results, right? I mean, I think when I talk to the younger generation, when I interact with students in colleges, I tell them, don't look at one or two companies that have actually become famous overnight. Look at the companies that have actually taken a longer time. See how they've done it, the hard work that went in, the passion, with which they've driven those companies. That is very, very important. I mean, our company is a typical example, right? So the first 10 years of our journey, our focus was just on building the base, making sure that we're stable, before we were actually taking that growth curve. And if you see, until like 2010, 2012, we were pretty small. And 2014 is when I actually moved back from US. And we were only about 360, 400 people at that time. So from there to now, in the last 10 years, we've almost crossed 5,000 people.
So back to a very, very important topic. While you're taking risk in your business, there's always this fear of failure. People take stress, it lasts for long, and they don't realize that if you stress furthermore, it doesn't make the milk boil faster. So what is your take on that?
No, absolutely. I think, taking calculated risk is very, very important in any business. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's IT, whether it's manufacturing. So that risk factor is always there. But I feel that if you plan well, if the leaders in the company can actually visualize and anticipate the situations, whether it's good or bad, for the company, what worse can happen, what best can happen. So you got to evaluate both, take a calculated risk, and then take a plunge into it. So if you do that, I think any business can be a success. The other thing that we actually encourage in our company is the decision making cannot be just done at the top level, right? So there are certain decisions that can be done at the top level. There are decisions that can be done at the lower levels. So everybody needs to understand that decision making is part of their job, and they need to learn on how to calculate the risks and make decisions and move forward.
Because so when you take all the decisions, then what will the others do?
Absolutely. And also it also helps them to grow, right? I mean, once, say today they might be a junior engineer in our company, but maybe 5 years down the lane, you would have grown up the ladder, right? So at that time, you should be able to make decisions. So making decisions at every level is very, very important for the success of any company. And we make sure that we implement that here.
Great. When you're hiring a leadership team member, what are these traits that you look for?
The most important of all this is I try to hire people that are smarter than me. That's the only way that can make your life easier, right? If I hire people that are not smarter than me, then my hands are tied in terms of, what can I delegate to them, my dependability on them, everything I have to spoon feed them. But if people below me are smarter than me, I get more free time, right?
You're relaxed.
And, those are the people that will drive the company. I mean, I, as an individual, will only have 24 hours in a day, right? But if I have a team of 10 people smarter than me, then 10 multiplied by 24 is the amount of time that I have available each day. So that's the basic principle that I follow.
So before we let go of this interview, one piece of advice you'd like to give the youth who are viewing this interview and want to take up leadership roles?
So one thing, people who want to get into the leadership roles, right? So as a leader, the respect cannot be demanded. You have to earn it. And how you earn it is, each one has a different style, right? I mean, whether you go with very authoritative leadership, or you go with very democratized leadership, or transformational leadership, right? So it all depends on individual. So whatever leadership style that you have or you want to have, just make sure that the first thing that you should do is walk the talk.
Always.
Very, very important. You lead from the front, you protect your team, and make sure the team really feels motivated to work under you. Encourage people to make the decisions, and bring in that culture where people are free to express their ideas, right? Rather than, being fearful of putting in their ideas. So if you do that, obviously your respect goes up, right? People look up to you as a leader. The other thing is, you'll be able to retain people under your leadership for a much longer time.
Yes.
So those I mean, that's an advice. And for the budding entrepreneurs, passion. Nothing can beat passion to make you succeed. And don't look for immediate overnight results. Have a long-term plan and then start pursuing those.
And don't give up, because
Oh,
if you give up,
absolutely,
then
absolutely.
there's no
And
point.
one of the leaders that I actually admire is our current national security advisor, Ajit Doval.
Okay.
In one of the interviews, he made a very interesting statement. He said, leaders take or make the decisions and then make them right.
Okay.
You don't make a right decision or a wrong decision. You make a decision or you take a decision and then you make them right.
Very well
And that
said.
should be the attitude. I mean, you make a decision and give your 100% and make sure that you make it right.
Words of wisdom.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was really, when I was listening to one of the interviews, he made that statement.
You're
and
still
it's true.
awestruck, like I can see your face.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. And, there are other things that's the reason why in my free time, I actually look through some of these interviews and all that. And people like our current external minister, Jay Shankar, right? The way he manages the situation is an important point to be noted for all the leaders. How do you manage the situation?
And his expression doesn't change.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I tell people is, as leaders, we should always differentiate ourselves and be disruptive in the market. And that's what Steve Jobs has done, right? I take some of these qualities, right?
Why not? We learn from each other, right?
Oh,
And that's how we grow.
absolutely. So these are some of the things, that I always advise people to start looking into if you really want to become a good leader.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Sakshi. And it was nice talking to you.
Every C-suite conversation I've executed has taught me a lot about leadership style. My today's interaction with Mr. Kurly taught me about how passion culminates into success and growth. We also spoke about personal goals, because it's very important to be enjoying yourself and believing into work-life balance. Thank you so much for viewing this interview, and look forward to many more interactions.